Welcome to your Move in May. Today is a Pilates core day, so just grab your mat and let's get started. Now to begin, we're going to come down on our hands and knees. So bringing the hands directly underneath the shoulders and then your knees directly underneath your hips. So just a little bit wider. Just want a gentle press up through the shoulders and pull up through the low belly. So you create this neutral spine that is almost flat, but with the natural curves in it. So what we'll do from here is extend the right arm straight overhead, or by your ear. So fingertips are reaching straight ahead. Find your balance by drawing your core in, and now we're going to extend the left leg straight out as well. So find this spinal balance, pushing into your left hand, drawing up through the low belly, and try to drop the left hip slightly so you feel that your hips are neutral or even. Now we'll just hold here and breathe. So now exhale. You're going to bring your knee towards your elbow, pull in through the belly, round the spine, hold the elbow and knee in. Keep squeezing here, trying to keep the hips level once again. And now extend out. Fingertips forward, toes backward. Breathe. We'll come again, crunch on your exhale, round, pull the belly in. Extend out once again. We'll do this for a final time, then exhale, crunch in, round, hold in. And then go ahead and release your hand and your knee down. So we'll find that neutral position again with both hands, both knees down. So press up slightly through the shoulders, pull in through the belly. And then go ahead, extend the left arm so it's coming alongside the left ear. And now find the balance as you extend your right leg out behind you. So again, we want even hips. So drop your right hip down toward the mat, pull the belly in. Try to really push now through your right hand. So you're really extending up through the arm and shoulder. And then we'll go ahead and crunch in. So round the spine, push away. Knee and elbow come toward one another. And then extend back out. Lengthen fingertips and toes. Again, crunch, round and squeeze. Extend arm and leg. And then one more time, crunch in. Around the belly, push through the bottom arm. And then go ahead and release. Hands and knees back down. We'll come down and take a seat. So sit down on the mat and place your feet onto the mat with the knees drawn in towards you. We're going to hold on to the knees and think about pulling your chest up and through and just slightly in toward the knees as best as you can. So you start to feel the belly engage, and then you lift the spine up nice and tall. So keep holding onto the knees here. And now we're going to draw the belly in. So try to pull in through the low belly. As you start to round the spine and sink in, so we're going to start to lean back slightly, feeling that curve in, that squeeze of the belly here. And then inhale, you're going to draw back forward, roll through the sits bones, lift the torso up tall. So exhale, hollow the belly, pull in. Inhale, draw upward. Really draw yourself in, find that length of the spine. And then once again, pull in through the belly. Again, try to draw nice and low. Sink in here, find that rounding of the spine. Okay, and then we're just going to lift the torso from here. So still feel the belly pull in. Now lift the torso up as we hold on to the knees here. So find that length and lift through the chest, but you should feel like you can let go of the hands, which we will do here, and stay perfectly neutral to where you were. So the core is drawn in, hands now are going to hover right by our legs here. And now you're just going to lift one shin here. So the knees are staying in the same place. Shin is now hovering parallel to the floor. We're going to go ahead and tap the toes down there. Now lift your other shin. Maintain the upper body torso exactly as we had it, as we're alternating now, lifting one leg and tap and the other. And still trying to hold this position and not collapsing down through the low back. Okay, keep maintaining that as we tap. Excellent. And now as we do one more tap, bring both toes down, maintain the same torso position, lifting the chest. Never gonna try to lift both shins and hover here. So squeeze, you should feel the legs and the hips. Keep lifting up through the chest. Breathe. We'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. You can grab the backs of your legs, drop the feet down. We're gonna pull through the chest one more time. Lift up, big inhale. Then planting the feet on the mat. Start to find that rounding through the spine. So pulling in through the belly. And then we're gonna lower as we start to curl back down to lie to the mat. You can hold on as long as you'd like to help with the control. Otherwise, you can let the hands hover by your sides. So you'll find that slow lower down. Feeling that control through the core. Bit by bit, you're releasing the spine, and then you'll come all the way lying down onto the mat. So we're going to find the same tabletop position with the legs now. So the shins are going to be parallel to the floor. You want to feel that little draw in through the belly and through the low back. Then stretch the arms overhead. So we're going to take a big inhale and reach. Now bring the arms back as you start to tuck the chin down, curl, and we're going to curl the body up as if you're reaching the fingertips to the edge of your mat. So think about drawing in through the ribs, drawing them down toward the belly button, and then we'll come back, release the arms, inhale overhead. So exhale, start to come up, tuck the chin down, crunch through the core as you're reaching forward. Release, bring the arms back with an inhale. So continue with this movement here. And then we'll stretch out one more time. Come up for a crunch. And then we'll release the feet down, bringing the hands down by your sides. We're gonna do a pelvic tilt here where you're tilting the pelvis back, dropping the low back into the mat, and then start to curl and peel the hips off of the mat one by one as you move the vertebra up and away from the mat. So just curling bit by bit, just to press the hips upward. And then we'll reverse that motion by going one vertebra, trying to control the roll of your spine down to the mat all the way, so that the final thing coming down is your pelvis into your sacrum. All right, and then we're going to stretch one leg out long on the mat and then bring one leg up to the sky. So trying to straighten the legs as best as you can. So we're going to push the bottom heel down, begin lengthening the top leg. What we're going to try to do is switch our legs at the exact same time. So we're going to swap places by going with an exhale. Then we'll rest it back down and do the same thing, switching them. On an exhale, go ahead and switch, and then relax. Take a breath in here, and then switch. Good. Find that breath, switch, and try to keep that pace going with yourself here. Nice control, engage through the core. Almost there. And then we'll do one more. Beautiful. And then you can stretch the legs out nice and long. So we're going to slightly bend one knee and plant the foot on the ground just to tuck the pelvis under slightly, so it's not too far bent. And the other leg, then we're going to reach up to the sky. So to begin, we're going to let this straight leg come across the body and come across so you start to feel the stretch in the outer hip here. Then we're going to let it drop down toward the other leg, circle across the floor, reach out wide to the side, come back around into a circle. So we're going to try to keep the pelvis as neutral as possible this whole time. So we don't want it rolling around on the mat. So cross around, drop down, circle out and around, and come back to the top. We're trying to keep those hip bones as stationary or as pointed upward as we can. So just completing the circle on the one side, out and around through the hip joint as best as you can. Good. So across, down, out, and around. And do that again. And then we'll go ahead and try that one more time. So across, down, out, and around. All right, we'll release that leg down. Again, finding your foot to the floor. And we'll switch to the other side then. So lift the other leg straight up. Get as straight point as you can. Now reach across the body. So we're getting that stretch through the leg and hip. Then we're going to cross down, across, toward the mat, out, and around. So across, stretch. Lower past the other leg to the floor, way out, and swim around. Good, so big stretch, down, nice exhale out, around. Almost there. And we'll do one more here. Beautiful. And then bring the foot back down. We're going to bring both feet back in underneath the knees here, finding that pelvic tilt again and lifting the hips. So we're going to tilt the pelvis under, start to curl one vertebra at a time, nice and slowly, all the way up, pushing up into the shoulders. And then a nice exhale as we roll one vertebra down on the mat to go ahead and release again. Your sacrum is the lowest or last thing to touch down. And we're going to go up one more time. Let's curl and roll. And if this is our day one of our Pilates core, this is all we'll have to do. Otherwise, hold tight here. We're going to add just a little bit more for our day two. So rolling down. And once you roll down, release, sacrum touching the floor. I'll release there. We'll draw our knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then what we want to do is start to kick the feet so that you roll along the spine. And we're going to try to do this a few times. So as you curl and roll and round, and just do this a couple times back and forth. And then from there, you'll kick and just roll all the way up to a seat. And then that is all you need to do today for your Pilates core. See you tomorrow.